We'll do so. The main obstacle that stands in the way of working even more closely with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod is our disagreement of the ordination of women. But there are all kinds of ways. I mean, you know, to its credit, the ELCA works with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod for Lutheran disaster response. But there are other ways, too, that we can find ways where we can support each other and encourage each other. And I will tell you that both Concordia Publishing House and the leadership of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod have been very, very strong in their commitment to support us and to pray for us and encourage us. Over here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does CORE and WordAlone and LCMC make arrangements to send individuals out to, say, churches that are working over this process of leaving or staying, you know, say, kind of counsel the leading body of that church?
Yes, the question was, does Lutheran CORE, WordAlone, and LCMC, are we able as organizations to send people out to congregations who are struggling through what's going on? And the answer is yes. All three organizations are more than willing to provide speakers. I know a lot of congregations have asked for representatives of multiple organizations. I know Bill and I addressed Calvary in Golden Valley along with, they invited their bishop, Craig Johnson from Minneapolis, and I don't want to confuse you, but there's another group involved in this, the Alliance of Renewal Churches, ARC, and Mike Bradley from ARC also addressed Calvary. So that's happening in many places. Yeah, just contact any one of us. You know, go to our websites, wordalone.org, lutherancore.org, lcmc.net. Okay. Yes?
Without insulting Pastor Woodman, you did give me an answer today. I want to make sure that if we leave, we're not losing our buildings.
The question was, if you leave, are you not losing your buildings? You actually have to almost intentionally try to lose your building. I mean, I don't know of any ELCA congregation that's gotten the 2/3 vote that has not been able to leave without taking their building with them. The ways you lose your building and your property and your assets is to vote to join the independent, join a non-Lutheran church body. Obviously, if you don't get the 2/3, and unfortunately this is happening, a friend of mine is going through it now. They fell short of the 2/3, and so he's resigning. They're going to resign as pastor, and most of the leaders of that congregation are going to leave, and they're just going to have to start a mission congregation. So that's happening. But as long as you just read your Constitution, go through it very carefully, it's very, very hard in the process to lose your building.
That's today. Is the ELCA changing it?
The question was, if that's today, is the ELCA changing it? I doubt it, but there are a lot of differences from one synod to the next in the ELCA. And there are some congregations, for example, I was invited to do a forum at Augustus Lutheran Church in Trapp, Pennsylvania, which is Henry Muhlenberg's church. So it's a historic church. I don't think the Southeast Pennsylvania and the congregation is divided, so they're not likely to vote anyway. But if they were to vote and take the 2/3, I'm not so sure that the Southeast Pennsylvania Synod would let go of that congregation. And apparently, prior to I think it was in the 19th century, the congregation had actually put in its constitution and bylaws that it always needed to belong to the other church. So there are going to be some exceptions like that, but I think for the most part, congregations who vote to leave are going to be able to do so. Thank you.
There'll be more time. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. There'll be a lot more time for questions. We've scheduled this to go to 12:30, so there'll be plenty of time for all your questions to be answered.